Now I'm going to show you how to put contacts, owners and properties onto the system. Bear in mind that the contact is anyone from a prospect, property owner, tenant or a guest. So click the contact tab on the left hand side of the screen up to new contact, and in the title box you can see a drop down list of available titles. If the one you want isn't there, then simply go on to click on the new tab and create one. And on the salutation, this is the way you want the contact to be addressed for correspondence. Now this property of interest box is really for prospects where they've shown a particular interest in a property, so I'll make this a prospect. Click the property that they're interested in and then continue to put in their address details. And the county list is populated, so click on the button, pick the county, and then click on the communications tab to put phone and email information in. And click the preferred contact method, email or post. Then save and close. And so that's put a contact with an interest in the property. And at this stage, because it is a prospect, you could go up to your document and print some terms and conditions for holiday rentals. And you will see that the homeowner is put in there with the information about their contact details. Alternatively, you can email the document by way of an attached PDF by clicking on the email, clicking on the template, email, and putting in the subject line and some text. And then fire off the email and the attachment will be with it. Now I want to put an owner into the system, so click the owner box on the left, new owner, and then select a contact with the owner details. If you haven't already set up contact for the owner, then just go to the new box here and create one, but I have a predefined owner in here. Select the property service, full service holiday letting. Now this username and password is to allow owners of properties to log on to the system and look at financial and property details that are applicable to only their properties. And bank details so that the rents and can be paid to them. with an IBAN, a SWIFT code if the payment's to be made into an international bank. Now we'll put in some agents' charges and commissions. This is a holiday let, so we'll just put in 20% for the holiday let. Save and close. So that's set up the owner. Now what we need to do is set up a property or properties for the new owner. So click on the new property tab. Fill in the property details. We'll select detached house. Three bedrooms. Occupancy 6, 2 receptions, 1 parking space. Sleep 6. 2 bathrooms, furnished, has a garden, no smoking, pets allowed. Now this is only holiday let, so we'll unclick the tenancy. We want to track the insurance renewals for this property through the owner, but we don't, then we can click that off. These are just the default check-in, check-out times, and they can be changed at any time. Now we'll put in the address for the property. Now this property name or number and the road name fields are separate to the normal address lines because a lot of websites don't want to put the actual address of a property on there, just the road, and sometimes they want a description of the property, like say Seaview, for the website. Again, select the county, the default is Dorset. Now put in the rents and deposits. It's not a tenancy, it's a holiday let. The rental period is a week. We can change that month, quarter or year. Click the agent's charges, they're correct. The summary, here we're going to put just a short summary of the property. Typically websites will have a summary and a full description, so I've just pasted the summary in there, and then on the description. And note on the full description that you have some good editing capabilities. For example, we can change the text colour and bold, and change the font size, etc. And at this stage we're going to save and close. And as you can see, we now have the owner, Brian Giles, and 1 property registered with him. And at this stage we could continue to add properties for Brian Giles, but instead I'm going to go onto the property tab in order to fill in more information required about this property, like the photographs, etc. I click on the properties, 1 Medina Way, and these tabs across here are all tabs that we've already put the information in, but they're there for you to look at any time. But there's more information required for some of these tabs. Now on the inventory, you could do your own inventory, but if not, you can attach a document under the Files tab. The photos, more importantly, add the new photo. Building. I'm going to make this first photo my primary photo. We can only have one primary photo, and then browse and insert the primary photo. Now I want to add more photographs, so I do save and new. And so on until you've loaded all of your photographs. Keep saving new. In this case I'm only going to load the extra one, save and close. And now click on the breadcrumb to go back to the property and put in some seasonal rents. New seasonal rent. And click the dates. I'm only going to put 2 in for test purposes, so I'm going to go for the 1st of January 2014 to the end of June. Standard rent of £900 a week. I'm going to charge a holding deposit of £250, and the breakage deposit is optional. I won't bother with that at this stage, but I do save and new to put in another seasonal rent. So I'm going to go from the 1st of July to the end of December and charge £150 per week, the same holding deposit. And at this stage I've done a year's rents. I could put it in as many years as I like. I'm just going to save and close and go back to the property. You can see the seasonal rents are in for the system. The maintenance tab is to apply maintenance requests for this property, which I'm going to cover in another video. The property features, this is something that again a lot of websites require, and maybe your literature, internal literature requires it. So I want to put some property features in. New property feature. These are done line by line because there are sites out there that insist that they're submitted line by line. Save and new. And I'll save and close here just with 2 features. And back to the property. Insurances tab is if you want to keep track of insurance details and get reminders. Same with the safety certificates. You can add safety certificates like fire safety checks, and that will get reminders which will show up in your to-do list, and when they're overdue then they will turn red. And the same with the utilities, gas, electricity, water. Files is to allow you to upload files attached to this property. For example, you may decide to upload a Word document with your inventory on rather than doing it line by line, or an external provider may have provided you with a Word document. And then on the upload providers, this is where we define the websites that we'd like to upload this property. So new property upload provider. In this case we'd like to upload this property to Rightmove. We can click the box and select other choices. One of them could be your own website. I'm going to save and close. And whilst we're in the property tab, there are some other useful things you could do, provided you set up a template. You could go to Document and print property information pertaining to this property. It's the description, property photos, seasonal rents. Or you could click email and click the template, click on the email, and it will send that document via email as a PDF attachment. Now logically you could, from this frame, you could go straight into creating a holiday let by clicking the Let's tab, New Holiday Let, but I'm actually covering this in another session, so I'll see you then.